Hey, what's up, guys? Shuckle King here, bringing you my Week 7 team builder and battle versus Baby Eric, called the Baltimore Oricorioles, I believe. Anyway, my team is 3-3 right now, and hopefully I can get above 500 for the first time this season, which is taking me a while to get to that opportunity, but it's tough competition, so I'm not terribly surprised. But I do like my team, especially with the changes I made. Anyway, before we get any further, make sure you guys like the video if you enjoy the content and consider giving me a subscription. I would greatly appreciate it. Anyway, Baby Eric took over David's team, which was pretty memey, which is frogs plus rain, essentially. I guess because Polytoad is a frog, so therefore you have a rain team. But Baby Eric took the meme team and went maybe even more intense with it, which is kind of crazy, but he has a fun team for sure, but one of the weaker teams in the league, maybe the weakest even. But anyway, his team from most to least threatening is Primarina, Kingdra, Empoleon, Kabutops, Pelipper, Polytoad, Greninja, Mega Slowbro, Poliwrath, Seismitoad, Venusaur, and Toxicroak. So those last two, Venusaur and Toxicroak, are the only non-water types on the team. And I feel like I actually handle those the best out of everything. Because Venusaur's pretty neuter just because of rain. Synthesis is not going to be working nearly as well. And the Toxicroak I could revenge kill just really easily with a lot of things on my team. But anyway, Primarina, I really don't have a switch into it. Like, Alolan Muck still takes a decent amount, especially if it's like Hydro Pump in the rain. And it can also take like at least one hit. Primarina is not that physically bulky, but it has enough bulk to take one. Kingdra, very strong in this matchup, but I do have a Azumarill that kind of shuts it down. Otherwise, it'd be problematic. Empoleon, I have Landorus, Megalopunny, and Manectric to all handle it pretty well, but otherwise it shuts down a lot of my team. So I don't know if he brings it just because it's pretty likely I'll bring those three that I mentioned, but otherwise Empoleon is really good. Kabutops is a Z user, so it makes it a lot more threatening in the rain than Greninja, because Kabutops also gets the speed boost. So I have to watch out for that. Skarmory can somewhat take on, but I mean, I'm not doing anything back to it. So Kabutops should be able to beat my Skarmory 1v1. Pelipper, Polytoad sets up the rain. Greninja's fast, but no Z moves, so Azumarill handles it a lot better. Mega Slowbro is kind of weird. It handles my Mega Lopunny, but I just feel like it's a pretty passive mon that he doesn't want to bring for the most part against my team. And then I do have ways to handle it pretty well. Poliwrath is pretty dangerous just because of the speed boost, but not as strong under the rain. Seismitoad in the same vein, but like Miltank, Musharna, Azumarill should all be able to handle it pretty well. So my team, I knew the first mon I was going to bring was Manectric. Raichu also would have been nice in this game if I had it. I think it outspeeds some mons if it was Choice Scarfed, but Manectric wouldn't have. But Raichu would have outsped some Swift Swim users with a Choice Scarf. With a Choice Scarf on the Raichu would have outsped some Swift Swim users. But anyway, Manectric is going to be hitting a lot harder than Raichu is, especially with a Life Orb. Hidden Power Grass for the Seismitoad, Voltage Thunderbolt, and Overheat for the Toxicroak and the Venusaur, especially if it's out of rain. Should kill both of those. Didn't need a Lightning Rocks. I don't think he brings any electric moves this game. So Static for, I guess, like a U-turn Greninja. Next I have Mega Lopunny. Fake Out, which is pretty cool to burn rain turns. High Jump Kick return just hits a lot of his team really hard. Should be able to 2-hit KO just about everything. And Thunder Punches there, the Oko, the Pelipper. And what's nice about this Mega Lopunny is I do add speed, a Choice Scarfed Polytoad or Choice Scarfed Pelipper. And then I can either Thunder Punch the Pelipper or go for the High Jump Kick on the Polytoad or the Thunder Punch, depending if I want to miss or not. So that's pretty cool with Mega Lopunny. Musharna is next with Trick Room, Energy Ball, Psyshock, and Healing Wish. Now, Trick Room is pretty cool because I would outspeed anything in Trick Room. Well, with Trick Room, it gives me speed control versus all of his really fast threats. And I do have another mon that could capitalize on this Trick Room opportunity, but Energy Ball for all the water types and Psyshock hits basically everything on his team. I bring Psyshock over Psychic, just because I expect there's going to be some Assault Vest Mon on his team to take Landorus hits. I'm expecting like a Assault Vest Politoed to take hits. So Psyshock should be doing a lot more damage than Energy Ball in those instances. This is walled by Empoleon, so I did consider like a Hidden Power Electric. But it could be special defensive Empoleon with Shucka Berry too. So it's not going to be... HP Electric's not going to do much, maybe 25% at most. So I went with Healing Wish in the last slot just in case any of my Mons get pretty weakened. I feel like they're still pretty valuable. And I do have the Papa Berry in case I get low. I can heal up a little bit more HP and maybe set up a Trick Room a little easier because I really didn't need anything like a Life Orb to do more damage. This will be doing a lot of damage just with max special attack. Next I have Azumarill with Assault Vest, max HP, max attack. Play Rough, Knockoff, Superpower Aqua Jet. Play Rough hits a lot of Pokemon on the team. Knockoff is there for like the Toxicroak, which I wouldn't be doing much to anyway. Superpower is there for the Kabutops. And Aqua Jet is to pick off any monster really weakened. Superpower is also there for the Empoleon. And under Rain, Aqua Jet's going to be doing a ton of damage with max attack. Assault Vest allows me to live Kingdra hits. I can live 2 Choice Specs, Modest, Hydro Pumps in the Rain after Stealth Rocks with the Azumarill. So that's pretty cool, but it still does a ton of damage. I could barely live 2 hits, even with Assault Vest. So it's just crazy how powerful Kingdra's going to be in the Rain. 5th Pokemon I have is Landorus. Could be a little bit weird when he has 10 Pokemon. How many? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 water types on his team, but it's still a Landorus with Sheer Force and Life Orb, so I'm going to bring it. The speed allows me to add speed everything outside of Rain that I can normally add speed. So the only mon I wouldn't add speed outside of Rain is a Choice Scarfer or Greninja. And I wouldn't be able to add speed Greninja even with a Timid. So Modest is pretty nice here. Earth Power is going to be doing a ton to his team. What doesn't hit that much with Earth Power is the... I guess it would be the Pelipper, and that's what Hidden Power Electric's for. Stealth Rocks is there. The last move, Sludge Wave, is to hit the Primarina. I should be able to kill that. I went with that over Psychic to hit the Venusaur harder, which could also be a special defensive mon. I also debated Defog, but I don't think I really need it because I don't think he would bring Spikes Greninja in this game. And the last Pokemon I have is Hydreigon with max special attack, the same speed as Landorus to add speed, everything except for Greninja outside of Rain, and some special defense, which with the Haban Berry, I actually live a Modest Choice Specs Kingdra hit, and then kill and return with a Draco Meteor as long as I hit. After Rocks, it's a roll, which is unfortunate, but hopefully I can prevent him from getting Rocks up in this match. Draco Dark Pulse, stabs are pretty straightforward, hits a lot of his team pretty hard. Tailwind, it's a pretty nice option to give Landorus or Manectric a chance to add speed all of the Swift Swim users, and then U-turn is for momentum. So that's my team. Get right into the game. Alright, here we are for the battle against Baby Eric, and as we can see here, he does not bring the Primarina, which I'm pretty happy about. It was gonna probably get a kill, maybe 2, though I would doubt I have a pretty offensive-based team, so I don't think Primarina would have lasted too long, but it could have basically taken out whatever it wanted to. So fortunately, he didn't bring that. Empoleon is also not brought, which is also cool, so my Rayshard is going to do a lot of work. As you can see, Psyshock plus Energy Bulb basically wrecks his team besides like the Kingdra to an extent, but I should be able to 2-KO with Psyshock after Rocks. So going into this matchup, I'm going to lead with my Manectric just because it hits everything really hard, and I expect he's going to lead with one of his... Well, either his Pelipper or Politoed, which are probably both the ability that gives you Rain, and Seismitoad, which I would just pop with a Hidden Power Grass. So I'm pretty okay with Manectric leading, and he leads to the Pelipper, so he's not going to stay here and here. So if he goes into Seismitoad, I'm going to try to pop with a Hidden Power Grass. But he goes into Venusaur, which is an even safer play, because Overheat's not going to do much in the Rain. And it looks like he's pretty special defensive based on that little bit of hidden power damage. And based on his Volt Switch damage, I am Modest Life Orb, so only 20% shows that he is more specially defensive, which is fine. I'm going to go into Landorus, taking really any hit beside the Hidden Power Ice. He gets a Poison with the Sludge Bomb, which is pretty unfortunate, but I can still manage, and Earth Power is pretty free here, especially because I see that the rain is lasting. No, not yet. But Earth Power was pretty free just because he went to Pelipper. Then I would kill with Hidden Power Ice, or with Hidden Power Electric, unless he was Choice Scarfed, which I probably wouldn't risk, but this also looks like a pretty good time to set up my Stealth Rocks, which I do here, and I weaken the Pelipper for later on in the match, which is also pretty cool. So I'm going to switch out, knowing I can't take out the Politoed here, and I don't want to lose my Landorus this early. I go to my Hydreigon, which now can't really take Kingdra's Choice Specs Draco Meteor, but I have other things in the team that can take that on. Mainly Azumarill also handles the Kingdra very well, so I'm okay with Hydreigon taking some damage. The Scald Burn is pretty unfortunate, but that damage from Politoed showed that he's probably not special attack invested, and this damage from Hydreigon shows that he's probably max HP, max special defense, but not Assault Vest. So that's cool to know. He goes through the Ice and Wind Juice, does decent damage, but I can still U-turn out in the Politoed, and I bring it in range to where I should be able to kill with Earth Power from Landorus later on in the match, which is pretty cool. He goes into Seismitoad, I go into Musharna. I can kill right now an Energy Bulb, and he can't kill me with any one move, not even like a modest Choice Specs Hydro Pump would kill this range. So it's pretty safe for me to go for the Trick Room and just destroy his team. So he goes into Kingdra, and I go for the Trick Room. Now anything on my team will outspeed it in this Trick Room, which is pretty cool. I'm going to go for the Psyshock. I get a crit, which is a little unfortunate. I should have still been able to 2-hit KO. And he goes to the Hydro Pump and really doesn't do much. And this is in the rain too, so this kind of shows that he's not Choice Specs, and he's not Life Orb, obviously, because he didn't take any damage. So I'm not quite sure. He could be like Kabonberry, maybe to take a Draco from a Dragon. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe like Metronome, potentially, but I don't think he's any boosting item, which is really cool. So my Musharna lives a little longer. It would have been nice if he brought me into my Iapapa Berry range, but I can't really complain. He goes into Pelipper, which now I know is Damp Rock, so my Landorus can stay in and kill its in Power Electric. I don't have to worry about a Choice Scarf Pelipper set, which is pretty cool as well. No reason for me not to go for the Psyshock. As you can see here, I do a over 40%, which shows that he's not like max HP or like a physically defensive set. So I will be able to 2-KO a Psyshock, so no reason for me not to go for Psyshock here. So he does go into Kabutops. I would have killed with Energy Bulb, but I go for the Psyshock and still do a lot. I have one turn of Trick Room left, so I will get a kill somehow. I'm going to go for the Psyshock again, and he pops my Iapapa Berry, and I guess he shows that he's not Life Orb. If he was Life Orb, he would have knocked me out with Aqua Jet, so I'm sure he's like a Z move, which is good to know. His other Z move user is Pelipper? Yes, it's Pelipper, and it's not Pelipper, so I don't have to worry about any Z moves for the rest of the match, which is definitely clutch. I'm in pretty healthy range with my Musharna, so I expect I should be able to live a hit from the Seismitoad, which he brings in, and I can set up a Trick Room again as long as he doesn't burn with Scald, and I'm in really good shape. But he goes to the Surf and actually knocks me out because he is Life Orb, max special attack, Seismitoad, which is pretty cool in the rain. And it's pretty threatening. Fortunately, I do have a Azumarill that can take Sludge Waves with really no problem. If you go for the Sludge Wave, I'm going to go for the Knockoff because I don't want to miss my Play Rough, which would put me in a pretty bad position there, weakening my Azumarill a ton. So that way I can't take on the Kingdra as well. But he gets the Poison with Sludge Wave, which is pretty unfortunate because at this point I could have killed with a Knockoff plus Aqua Jet. And now I have to take an extra 25% damage because of this Poison. And I'm going to stay in because I really have no switch into this otherwise. If I do kill the Seismitoad with Aqua Jet, he was Swift Swim. If he was Water Sword, that would have been pretty awkward. But he wasn't, so I'm fine here. But I really can't take on the Kingdra. I can't live a Choice Specs set, but I know he's not Choice Specs. I might be able to live like a Hydro Pump in the rain and then kill with a Play Rough in return. Or even a Knockoff is how low he is. He brings in his Venusaur, and Azumarill still has usefulness, especially with Aqua Jet later on. So I'm going to go to my Hydreigon. I should be able to take a hit unless he goes like a Hidden Power Ice. But he does not, fortunately, go for the Sludge Bomb. And I will be able to fire off a big Draco if I hit. I probably should have gone for Dark Pulse to make sure I actually landed. But fortunately, I did hit the Draco Meteor, unlike earlier on in the season. But I don't have to worry about this Venusaur being a nuisance. though my Mega Lopunny probably could revenge skilled anyway. But now I can definitely bring in my Landorus, which is a little bit more threatening to his team than the Mega Lopunny. I'll be able to get 2 kills. Well, they are both pretty threatening, but I can get 2 kills at this point with Landorus because he's forced to bring in one of his rain users. And I should be able to kill this Politoed with an Earth Power. It does, like, I think 46% min to a max special defensive Politoed, so I do knock it out, which is great. I'm brought the pretty low, which really doesn't matter. He brings in a Kingdra, and he's going to kill me off. I have no switching into this because I could have maybe gone into a Azumarill and gone for an Aqua Jet, but I wasn't going to live a Surf plus 2 rounds of Poison anyway, so in terms of differential, it didn't make a difference. So I'm going to sack off my Landorus. I go into Mega Lopunny, and I have Fake Out. So at this point, I'm going to win the game because if he switches out, the Kingdra's going to die to rocks afterwards, and I do have Aqua Jet anyway on my Azumarill, and I could kill from this range, though it would be a pretty high roll for me to kill. So anyway, I kill out the Mega Lopunny, or kill with the Mega Lopunny on the Kingdra, and then I'm going to kill the Pelipper with Return. So solid 3-0 win for me. I am finally above 500 for the first time this season, which is pretty great. I'm 4-3 with, I think, +7 differential, which is pretty high differential. So if it comes to, like, tiebreakers in the end of the season, I'm sitting, like, at 5-5. I should be in a pretty good shape to make playoffs just because of my differential is pretty good. And because people aren't consistently uploading as much as they should be. But that's another point. A good game, Baby Eric. Thanks for taking over David's team above 500. And I'm going to be facing a couple difficult opponents for my next couple games. So I'm glad to get this win. So even if I get a couple losses down the road, I still should be in decent shape for playoffs. But anyway, until next time, later, guys.